So I don't know if anybody's talked about this on YouTube yet. I haven't seen any big creators talking about this at all, but it's all over Twitter and it's driving me fucking insane. We have a woman by the name of Lindsay Clancy. I'm going to show you this tweet, and this has so I can show you real quick. 400,000 likes, by the way, 400,000 likes, and the caption of the video is, "She's about to be jailed for life for something her husband did." Now, I would like to remind you, there is no proof that the husband did it. In fact, there is infinite proof that he wasn't even there for what is claiming the husband did. There is literal security cam footage of him in a CVS picking up, I believe, medicine for his wife. But the story of Lindsay Clancy is incredibly fucking dark. I have somebody else here to explain it, but this is a very dark story. To give you the TLDR, just so you kind of know what you're about to get into, Lindsay Clancy had this thing that 1 in 1,000 women suffer from after giving birth, which is called postpartum psychosis. Now, the issue is that about 13%, so 13 in 100 women, suffer from a thing called postpartum depression. And the issue right now is that women are so fucking stupid. I know, what a shock, that they're confusing the two with each other. And they're saying that Lindsay Clancy could be just like me. Now, let me tell you what these women are saying could be just like me for. Lindsay Clancy had postpartum psychosis. After giving birth, she was sent to the mental hospital. She checked herself out after 5 days because she didn't want to miss one of her children's birthdays. She said she was fine, but before that, she also asked for help. She also called the cops for help, and it was a very confusing situation. Lindsay Clancy, then, when her husband wasn't in her home going to CVS to get her pharmaceuticals and such, took an exercise band and strangled to death all 3 of her children, ranging from age 1, 3, and 5. She killed all of them. She then attempted to kill herself by jumping out of a window, but instead landed on her legs and became permanently paralyzed from the waist down. This was mishandled by the mother. This was mishandled by the mental hospital. This was mishandled by the police. Anybody blaming the husband is retarded, and the only person who this was not improperly handled by was the husband. And now, for some reason, all of the blame is being put on the husband, as well as women on the internet have now raised $850,000 to go towards Lindsay Clancy because they believe that they could be just like her one day. Her husband framed her for this horrible crime, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Lindsay Clancy deserves justice. Lindsay Clancy's astrology. Coffee for those of us working hard on this case. Therapist opinion on Lindsay Clancy's case. Now, here's another wonderful woman to break it all down. If you didn't hate the internet enough yet, if you weren't misogynist enough yet, if you didn't want to repeal the 19th Amendment yet, let's talk about it. Are they retarded? What do you think? Here we go.
Clancy, and what is going on? Buckle up. In January of 2023, Lindsay Clancy, a Massachusetts mother of 3, strangled her 3 kids to death in her basement with exercise bands. They were 5, 3, and 8 months old. Her trial is this week. She's being charged with first-degree murder, and the question is whether or not she was undergoing a psychotic episode and didn't mean it, or if she carried out premeditated murder.
Either way, she should be killed. As well as every single woman who is donating to her GoFundMe should be held accountable. They should. It's a sad story no matter how you slice it, but whether it was premeditated or whether she went fucking nuts, we cannot support a person who murders their own child. And that's the reality. Whether she was crazy or not, we have far too many good people to waste money rehabilitating people who are responsible for the murder of their own 3 children. And that is the reality. The fact that this is even a conversation is insane. And guys, by the way, not only is her husband being blamed for all of it, saying that he did it instead, Lindsay Clancy herself said that she did it. She has self-admitted that she herself did it.
So either she's committed for life or imprisoned for life. Now, how did we get here? So after her third kid was born, she started losing her mind. Postpartum anxiety, depression, paranoia, insomnia, and evolving psychosis. And in 2022, she started telling mom and husband that she was having thoughts of killing her kids and started seeking big-time medical help. Now, at this point, she's on at least 12 different medications, including the antipsychotic Seroquel, which includes hallucinations as a symptom. New Year's Eve 2022, she finally checks into a mental hospital. 5 days later, she checks out, saying she wants to be home for her 5-year-old's birthday. Then a couple weeks later, in January of 2023, she's apparently having a really good day. Like, she's not being crazy. She texts her hubby saying, "I didn't cook dinner, let's do takeout." He leaves the house for 25 minutes to pick up said takeout and grab Miralax from CVS for his 5-year-old daughter.
And I want to make this very clear for anybody watching this. I believe Lindsay Clancy, honestly, this is a tragic story. It is. This is not a case of the man is good and the woman is bad. The only women who are bad in this scenario are ones who are blaming this on the husband and making this tragedy even more tragic. They are literally blaming the kids too. I've seen many of those posts as well. I think what happened to Lindsay Clancy is very, very, very sad. It is. It is. And good for her for checking herself into a mental hospital and attempting medication and for attempting to get help. But this was mishandled by so many different people. And the sad reality is, there's not really any happy ending to the story that's ever going to happen. But to blame the husband, this is ridiculous.
Security footage confirms this alibi, by the way. And while he's gone, she lures them to the basement and spends about 4 minutes per kid them. Then her arms and neck, and then jumps from a second-story window, permanently paralyzing herself from the waist down. She's on 6 medications at the time. Husband returns home, sees all the bodies, calls the police. And that audio recording has not been released to the public, but reporters in the room said they heard it, and it was just sickening. This story is tragic and vile.
The husband left for 15 minutes to get some Miralax for the daughter. And because the husband was being a good person, why didn't he DoorDash? The husband left for 15 minutes, and in that time period, she killed all of the kids, and then she attempted to kill herself. You have to understand, the fundraiser's over $933,000 now. Amazing. I will say this. You cannot blame the husband for dropping his guard for 15 minutes because his daughter was in pain. Because that means the husband could never sleep. The husband could never shit. The husband could never shower. At a certain point, we just have to realize the wife was a very broken woman. She should have never been left out of the medical facility. She should have been underneath constant surveillance by medical professionals. But a lot of things were mishandled. But the reality is, no matter how you slice it, she killed her 3 kids. That's how it goes.
And somehow online weirdos have managed to make it worse. Some quick facts before I explain. People are conflating postpartum depression with postpartum psychosis.
Yep.
13% of American women get postpartum depression. 1 in 1,000 get the psychosis. It's very rare. It's symptoms-based, so you can't find it on an MRI, but it typically presents very suddenly in the first 2 weeks after childbirth. Symptoms include hallucinations, delusions, severe insomnia. And yesterday, her mom testified that Lindsay texted her in October of 2022 saying, "Will you stay with me? Something is wrong. Horrible insomnia, anxiety meds making it worse, really, really scary. I don't want to be alone." Patrick testified that Lindsay called him and said she did it because a man's voice told her if she didn't do it now, she'd lose her chance. It's looking like she went crazy. The prosecution, the people prosecuting her for murder, they have a very, very difficult job. They have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she was not crazy, just cold-blooded. But either way, she's still going away for life because her children are forever gone. That's the tragedy.
Obviously.
Instead of focusing on that, online weirdos are blaming the man. Here's what I mean.
Yep.
Blue-haired people, for instance, are throwing themselves out of windows to prove that she fell out of the window weird. She must have been shoved. It was the husband. Yeah, Patrick, he was not at CVS, according to these ladies. He hired a body double, drugged her, the children, shoved her body out the house, and then staged the rest of it. And the evidence of
I'd like to remind you, the woman herself admitted that she did it.
all this, it doesn't exist, but he did remarry another brunette after his former wife unalived all of their children. So guilty. There's also women saying
A lot of people, first of all, remarrying is totally fucking fine, especially when you're attempting to recover from a tragedy that severe where you lost everything. Seeking comfort and companionship is completely fucking normal. Okay? I know when I was at my lowest after being fucking betrayed by a lot of people that I love, I also sought companionship. It's a very normal thing to fucking do. It is.
Saying this,
Many of us see ourselves in Lindsay.
If you see yourself in a woman who killed her 3 children, you need to be executed or jailed immediately.
Many of us know that we could have been only one step away from doing some of those horrific things.
If you really think you're only one step away from killing your fucking children, 5, 3, and 1-year-old children, because you were having a hard day, I'm sorry, you need to be in jail, bitch.
what? Like, get help. She had a psychotic break and committed multiple mortal sins. That's not the same as you feeling down after having a kid.
Yep.
And then there's women out there saying that if men aren't talking about this case, it's because they're abusive.
If you're a man saying, like, she should just go to prison, she did it, Patrick's innocent, leave him alone.
Oh, I'm not saying she should be put in jail. I think she should just be fucking executed, right? There's no way they say they see themselves in a murderer. Why wouldn't they say that? These people are outrageous. And if a man is involved, he's immediately the bad guy every single time. If you see yourself in prison, my sister in Christ go to jail, true.
He was a great dad. I'm just going to assume that you are abusive.
Yeah.
I'm abusive because I think a woman should be in jail or executed because she killed her 3 infant children, by the way. Fun fact.
There is not a single piece of evidence that he was abusive. Women, you're making us all look bad. The
Yep.
reality is she was on an insane cocktail of psychotropic drugs at the time of the murders. It's
Yep.
really sad. And it's terrible to see that she was severely struggling with mental illness. Mental illness is real and it is very, very scary. But also, girls, stop being weird and totally sympathizing with the child killer and blaming the husband. Lindsay confessed, the defense agrees, and she'll likely go to the ward for the rest of her life. I swear, these people do not care about the children at all. They
Of course
just
they
want to
don't.
make the guy look bad.
Women not caring about children? Liberal women not caring about children? No, that can't be right. Oh, wait, they just passed a bill in Michigan where you can abort a child at any point in the pregnancy up to 42 weeks. Huh. Women believing that their body autonomy outweighs the life of children again. Man, I can't fucking believe it. I can't. It's like we've been legalizing murder for decades.
Because they hate men. But hey, I mean, at least Candace Owens has a new thing to warp and make millions off of. Everybody needs to go touch grass.
Yep. And the reality is, women will make up anything to avoid accountability. This is not the first time. It certainly won't be the last. What a fucking joke.